me, I was muted that whole time, wasn't I? Oh my god. That is crazy. Yo, thank god I looked. One of those mornings. How long was I going for? About 10 minutes? Oh yeah. Whoops. I mean, I could have went a half an hour without checking. So I'm glad I checked it within 10 minutes. That's pretty funny though. See if we have the functionality we're looking for now. That we do. Okay, so that's damage. We got healing now. I actually just noticed another bug, which is why I didn't do the healing thing. That was weird. So I have the healing animation played, but I also have it detecting if it's like currently playing. I mean, I could have it just like restart and continue. Just keep doing that and see what it looks like. So try that out. I think there was a reason why I actually detected or was looking to see if it was playing or not before starting another one. I can't remember the reason why. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's bad at all. That looks fine. Did notice a couple of things though with our combat that we have, and this is actually something you don't notice unless you're actually doing like auto attacks, but didn't happen there, but it happened before. Oh wait, I think I know what it is. Okay, hold on. This is actually not too difficult to explain. See how we have like a giant radius for like our blizzard spell, right? So when this drops down, what's happening behind the scenes is this spell mesh is pretty much growing in size, but it's excuse me, it's set like hidden in game. So there's actually a spell mesh here, and when we're attacking, it's actually like absorbing our spells that we're hitting it with almost. These are able to go through. But something is actually blocking our hit markers from going off. Pretty weird. I wonder if I can actually throw this down and... So as soon as I eject, it's going to disappear, right? Oh no, okay. Oh, we are good to look at this. Interesting. No collision. I don't think that's true. Yeah, there's definitely collision on this, so some of these variables aren't actually reliable. The view. There's no collision on the client, but on the server there definitely is. Alright, I'm going to dig in and see why our hit markers are not working with the spell mesh in the way. It's got to be like a line of sight thing, right? I think we're doing like a line trace to spawn them in for certain projectiles. That's what I would imagine. Clear out this log and we're gonna set this and try. We're looking to see if our set effect context function is actually being called. If we throw down this blizzard right here, yeah, see our hit marker isn't actually working when we auto attack. So it looks like it's not even getting to that point then. So something is blocking it beforehand. I think I know what it might be. I think when we make contact, we're actually doing a sphere trace multi. Is it getting to this point? It is. Damage actors in all sphere radius. So it's probably not picking up the actor in here. So if we print, like if we two-string this, grab this, print it this way. See what it's see what it's actually printing here. Really want to get to the bottom of this. Okay, so normal impacts will give this kind of a reading here. If we try to do this, grabbing the collision cylinder on the actor. So it should still be applying. The damage here, should it not? Begin overlap. Site trace, get actor. So right here, it's being blocked. Oh wow. The wrong function name. Okay, so now we know where it's actually being stopped. Oh, because the spell is a world dynamic. Right, okay. We might have to put it on its own, like, separate channel then. So in theory, we take out this object type to query. We should be able to get hit markers now. And if that's the case, we'll just move that over to its own collision channel. Probably onto like projectile or something. Yep, that's what it was. I'm trying to think if there's anything that would be... anything that would cause problems moving it over to a separate channel like that, but I can't think of anything. Alright, we'll just move it over. Where is my collision enabler? Here you are. Set collision object type. Actually, it's easy projectile. Excuse me. Okay. Got that. We'll try again. Okay, yep, we got our param set again. Let's see if this works. It should. I just don't remember if there's anything that would interfere with this whatsoever. I don't think there is. But, I mean, obviously we can make like another collision channel if need be. Specifically for activated spells. And in doing that, we won't run into like any problems at all. It's fine. I notice sometimes the rotation is like totally off though. On our floating damage text. Wonder what that's about. Turns the yaw of this actor. Okay. So if that's the case, why does it not line up occasionally? Super weird. I mean, that's something I'd probably look into like way later on. It's not that big of a deal right now, right? Oh, also last night I was like, huh, I kind of want to make like this kind of want to make like a different like type of map. That sounds like a lot of fun. So I got an idea for like a nice deserty type of map. So I whipped this up in about 15 minutes. Just with some like basic shit, like the normal stack of like stuff you would put on a map. But the whole theme of the map is going to be, and this is just like a test, I don't know if this is actually how it's going to work, but the fog density, the actual like map, or not fog density, like the fall off here, the height fall off, it's going to increase and decrease over time to like basically replicate like a sandstorm almost, right? And what's going to happen is during like the peak of this, it's just going to play on like character visibility, but also there's going to be like 2 domes on the sides of the map where inside of them you're pretty much safe from the storm, but when you walk out you have reduced visibility and you take like damage over time until you get into one of like the safe zones. So I think that's going to be the event for this map. It's not going to be like an insta kill like the like that Ice Canyon map is. This is going to be something else. But yeah, this map would be really easy to make. I mean, there's not much texturing you have to do for sand. One of the things I'm also going to try and do is have like a dynamic map. Meaning that like I'm going to see if I can actually have like the sand on the map actually shift, which will like reveal static meshes under like certain parts of it. So you know how like sand like drifts and everything, right? And like new sand dunes are created every year. The whole goal is when a sandstorm like blows into the map, reduces the visibility of the map, and when it clears, the actual map has like a rotation of static meshes that will be coming out of the ground and will be into the ground, and the actual geometry of the landscape will also change a little bit as well. So I'm looking into how that can possibly be done. First thing that comes to mind is like having like different pieces of like landscape that are saved and hidden, and they'll just be swapped in and out after each like sandstorm. I don't know how feasible that is, but we'll see. Something I'm looking into. It's not set in stone. Just thought it would be a cool idea. Yeah, so I mean when it gets like really bad out, one thing is with the sun, right? That's a problem. Because with this type of density, you shouldn't be able to see that. So if I go to this here... Okay, cool. Yeah, I can just reduce the visibility of this. So what I'd probably do is I'll normalize the actual brightness of the sun here. And I'll match it with the normalization of the height fog as well. So when the fog is increased to this kind of level, I can simultaneously reduce the brightness of the sun here. Down to 0, like that. And I would also have like an environment controller do all the events and everything too. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Sorry. A little bit tired today. Alright. Let's pull up the list of things we have to do today. Oh, actually, I solved a lot of these last night. It was like a lot of random bugs. One of them being on our sanctuary map. The client wasn't able to actually interact with our little tables that we have set up. But I figured that out. It was just something with networking as per usual. So now they're able to actually see the interactions, the globes and everything. Check that one off. Let's see here. A lot of this is actually done. I haven't touched these in a bit. Oh, true. This is actually something we should do. I didn't think about that. So for like damage over time effects, we don't have like a constant sound happening for them when damage is applied. So the thought is we have a, like for Blizzard for instance, right? When this does damage to a player, like it doesn't have like an actual like audio cue that the player is being damaged besides like seeing their health go down. So one of the ideas was to have the impact sound play repeatedly for damage like that. So in our apply overlap event is where we would actually do this. Now here's a question. Do we only do this method for like damage over time effects? I want to say yes for now. Good. We should have a spell activation sound effect. I'm running on like 5 hours of sleep, but stuff has to get done. what I'm looking for right now is I just want to see what sound effects we have to work with on our... Apologies. Just want to see what sound effects we actually have on our spells themselves. Yeah, so I think we're just going to use the spell activation sound effect. My brain immediately goes to like, but what if there's a case where we want like a different sound for each type of effect? Damn. Yeah, you know what? We'll just do we'll do a different sound. We'll call this like apply spell apply overlap event sound effect. Because the thought is here, like, we have like an impact sound for our spells, but maybe we actually want more than that. Like a secondary sound, like for like Scorch, we probably want like a burning noise to play. I mean, worst case scenario, I just removed this. But, can't stop fucking yawning. But as of right now, I kind of want to just use it this way. Alright, so we gotta make a function for this guy here. We'll just go up to where we have our other functions. For our audio component, check for this guy. Comp, that's sound. Our apply events. Then we do audio comp play. Oh, there was a really cool function I found the other day. Yeah. So for audio components, I was like, huh. My audio is like completely just like cutting out, like dropping as soon as like an actor gets destroyed. And I was like, man, that's actually super annoying. I wonder if there's a way that we can like stop that from happening. So I looked into the gameplay statics that comes with Unreal Engine, right? Because they have a function called spawn on sound at location. Yeah, this. If you look into this, right, it shows that they are creating an audio component, and I was like, I'm already doing that in the constructor. Why would I want to spawn another one that takes like a lot of time in terms of ticks, technically? So I was like, you know, F that, I'll do that on my own. So I saw this here and I was like, huh, stop when owner's destroyed. Never knew this existed before. So I just grabbed this, went back to my constructor for my own audio component, set that bitch to false, and it works perfect. And now we don't have to spawn in sounds. It's really cool what you can find in other pieces of code as you're looking around for something that you need. This also has something where it's like B is UI sound. Whether or not the sound plays when the game is paused in the UI. What is the default for that? true. He is in game. Actually didn't even notice that. This is not a UI sound. Look at that. Let's learn something else. Live code this. Oh shit, wait. I created a new new property. Sorry, just answering a question. One second. Alright, back to the task at hand. Gotta compile. We got a new sound on here. Do not want to destroy my blueprint after setting a U property like this. I do have a bunch of sounds, by the way, that I grabbed from Free Sound that are actually really good. So I typically like keep all of my sounds in like an sound effects folder on my desktop. And this is actually for like a majority of the games that I've made in the past. So I just have like random general ones, and then I keep everything else organized here. I've been using a bunch of them, and I found a ton of great sounds for like casting. I just got to take them into Audacity and change them up. Did you always code in C++, or did you transition from blueprints to C++ gradually? So I learned to code with Java, and I found Unreal Engine and just like dove headfirst into learning C++ with Unreal Engine. Love it, very calm music. Yeah, this it's like Japanese lo-fi, fucking dope. But no, I jumped headfirst into C++ with Unreal Engine, and honestly, the translation from C++ code to blueprints is actually not too bad. They're very similar in functionality, and all the nodes that you use in blueprints are all in C++ as well, in the gameplay statics folder, or header, I should say. See how these are all blueprint callable? These are all the nodes that are in blueprints right here. You can use them in C++. What helped you in learning C++ or Unreal Engine? Anything that you found helpful in learning while learning? Honestly, the most helpful thing is probably these couple of courses that I took on Udemy, which I know like Udemy gets some slack sometimes, but this one guy in particular, and I always recommend his material because he teaches at a slow pace, which allows you to like increase the speeds, or the actual speed of the videos if you want. And I have like links to his courses in my Discord, but I took pretty much all of them except for the intro to C++ one, because I already had like programming experience, and those were definitely the most helpful courses I've ever took, for sure. It gave me like a really nice like foundation to solve certain problems when creating a game. So it taught me how to like, you know, spawn objects, work with like interfaces, networking as well, so like multiplayer stuff. What else? Oh, like basic UI, shit like that. So him teaching me those things, I was able to understand like, okay, how do I do this on like a very low surface level? But then in doing my own research after that, I was able to create like better things off of that. That was like a mouthful of words right there, but that's honestly how you progress. You just take ideas and expand on them. I've tried using like the Discords for like Unreal Engine to get answers for certain things, but they are I totally understand that they have like a lot of questions to answer, so they can't like tailor anything to you. So I kind of learned to do stuff on my own instead of ask questions like that. It's fine, you have a very calm demeanor. Yeah, I worked in IT for like a decade running my own like computer shop. You gotta have patience. Let's just say that. After the 1000th elderly person asks you, how do I turn my laptop on over the phone? And you know it's going to be a 30-minute conversation teaching them technology. You develop like a new level of patience for people. It's the best way I could put that. One thing I also will say is make sure you take notes for whatever course that you're doing. I have some have like some notes that are, or some documents that are like 300 pages long. I think this was the one. Actually, this was one of my first like documents that I took notes with, right here. Yeah, so this is when I was actually getting into like learning Unreal Engine. I put stuff in my own words so I can go back and read it. And I took screenshots of like everything. So it's like 169 pages of just like breakdowns of like sections of like how code works, how stuff interacts together. How do you do certain things that you want? Just pretty much like step-by-step breakdown of like everything. Yeah, I would put this as like a public thing that people can like read, but if you like look at some of my phrasing for this stuff, some of it is actually wrong, but it was my own interpretation of like what I was seeing. Yeah, if you want to get into C++, I can send you the link to the material. It is definitely worth like every penny, except like, so if they're charging like their normal price without like the discount of it being like $19 or whatever, I don't know if it's worth it, but like this course goes on sale like every weekend. I got like, when I bought them, they were like $12. So it's like, it's a pretty good deal. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll link it into the chat for you. Yeah, this guy right here on Udemy. Shout out to this dude, got me started. There was an intro to C++. I think it's this one. Yes, this one. Look at that. Coupon code leader sale. $140, 89% off. That's a deal. Yeah, I mean, the courses I took from him, and I'll just be upfront about what I have. This right here is one of them. This is the one that I'm currently sort of using. I'm mainly doing everything on my own, but this one has definitely given me some structure on certain mechanics for the gameplay ability system. So this one is great. I've not taken this. Anything that says like Unreal Engine 4, I haven't really taken. I think this one is one of the ones I've taken as well. This one taught me multiplayer. And networking, which I will say one thing about networking in Unreal. It can be extremely complicated. Look at that, March 28th, 2023. About last year, yeah. I actually can, whenever I got this course is actually when I started with Unreal. Yeah, so it's been about 1.5 years now. Probably a little bit less. January 5th, 2023. But yeah, I've been doing this every day for the past, well, ever since that date, actually. Just learning. But let me tell you, some days it's really hard to stay motivated. Like, really hard. But, I don't know, my brain Is this your side gig? Do you do full-time? So I owned and operated an IT business for about a decade, and I slowly transitioned out of that into doing this full-time because I don't know, maybe I just got like sick and tired of doing the IT thing, that I wanted something new. But I saved up enough money to pretty much do this full-time for many years to come if I wanted to. So whenever I jump into something, I go you know, I go balls deep into it, is a way to say it. There are days where I'm just like, man, I just want to play video games instead. But I don't know, it's video games don't feel the same anymore like they used to. Or it's like I feel just lazy and like really unproductive whenever I play them during the day. I feel like way better like mentally challenging myself even on days where I really don't want to do it and I just push through it. I feel better. I do have a long list of things that do need to get done. I want to eventually add health bars into the game, but like that's a complicated process to get that working and actually have it be like not something that absolutely destroys your game's performance. Oh, what we do have to do is make custom gameplay cues, though. We actually have to make a new class. Currently, the gameplay cue that we have for like healing is playing on both on both enemies and allies. We don't want that to happen. Let me check the gameplay queue for Scorch, because this is something I might change. Yeah, I think I'm gonna swap this into a subclass of a different type of gameplay queue that we're making. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So, people that are not familiar with gas, gameplay cues are basically just, they are just like visual and sound effects that happen when you use abilities on people or apply gameplay effects. Cheers, brother. Love the spirit. I have a rule for myself to open and learn something new each day in Unreal as well. What kind of games are you creating? I've made a number of different games. My first game was like trying to make like an RTS. Hey, how you doing, sir? I want to call you Penguin, but that is definitely not your name. I've made like RTS games. I've made horror games, which that was probably one of the most fun experiences ever. Making one of those, because there were events I made in it that I forgot I put in, so while I'm testing it happens and I like nearly shit myself. That was a good experience. And now I'm making a arena game. All good things. Yeah, man, there was... So my game was like... Pretty much like you're a maintenance person that has schizophrenia, and people think that you're just paranoid, but what's actually happening is there's actually a demon that is slowly trying to drive you into madness so it can take over your body. So what happens is while you're working, you would hear things and like see things like hallucinations that aren't there, but they actually technically are there. And the whole point of the game was to determine if things that you were seeing were hallucinations or if it was reality. So you would have these like hallucination or like event checks where you would have to determine in your head if it's real or not. And the way you would do that is by noticing like small details on like people that you interact with, like if they had scars, tattoos, like other things like that. So you wouldn't know if you were actually talking to yourself, is what other people would see, or you're actually talking to a real person. So if you're talking to like an NPC and they're actually real, but you say they're a hallucination, your character just like kind of like walks away from them, so people think you're more weird, which drives you even crazier. And the crazier your character gets, the more that the more hallucination and like chaotic events happen. So you actually don't know like what's real or not. Stuff in your apartment every morning also would either slightly change size, slightly change color, move a bit. So everything got like manipulated around. And it all ran off of like a something called like a chaos algorithm, I think is what I called it. Paranoid stuff, yeah, the game was called Paranoia. So there was tasks that you had to do working at the apartment complex, and during the tasks there would actually be like a chance of like a jump scare event during the task. And one of them got me so fucking bad, dude, because I was like, oh, I have debug mode on, this can't happen. Turns out that one of the events wasn't in debug mode, and it got me. Oh yeah, the monster in the game as well didn't make sound when it moved. The only way you could tell if it was after you was you would hear doors like opening, because it would make sound interacting with objects. So if you ever... I had like this thing where a random door opening and closing would randomly play sometimes. So you would have to like turn around to see if like the monster was actually coming after you or not. So the game like fucked with you really bad. I had similar when I played Layer of Fear. Have you played that? I don't think I have, but that sounds very familiar. I think that is made in Unreal Engine 5 as well. Yeah, Unreal Engine 5 makes it really easy to make some very intimidating environments, let's put it that way. Layers of Fear. Yeah, that sounds really familiar. What we're gonna do, highlight this whole page, paste it in here, change it up, and make the functions. We're gonna be swapping over this class or the other class to this one. This actually has a lot of functionality that I want. Control period. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so right now we're just swapping this. We're gonna make this the parent class. This we actually don't need. This we do need. This we need. That shit. When you follow the course, do you type code till you get it? What is your process of cementing the learning? Any strategy you use? So when I was taking it, I was taking notes on pretty much everything and just writing it down in my own words, which is what that like big 170-page document was. What I would do is I would write it down in notes and then I would actually do it in code afterwards. And the way I learned it, like, I don't know, it really cemented in my head after doing it that way. I was also working on my own project at the time as well. So I tried implementing some of the techniques that they taught into my own projects as well. And it worked out pretty well. Yeah, no problem. Subs channel, great stuff. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Just here to teach. There wasn't too much C++ material when I was trying to learn, so trying to give back to or trying to help people that don't have the resources that want to actually get into it, because it's not as intimidating as people make it out to be. I mean, shit, I failed math and computer science before. So, I mean, if I can do it, anybody can. We're gonna make this a subclass of this here. So instead of grabbing gameplay queue to notify actor here, what we're going to do is go into our folder queues. Call it queues, right? With all sorts of memory leak, blah blah, use Rust stuff. But I feel like C++ is the boss, is still the boss that runs the world. So let me just put it this way. People that like talk shit on C++ just give people that want to learn C++ more job opportunities. So I don't mind people hating on it. Makes it easier for us to get work. Because it talks other people out of actually getting it. There's way too many applications in the world that run on C++ at this point for it to like pretty much ever go away. It's kind of like Java, whereas like Java just has like terrible fucking problems with performance. But like their whole slogan is 1 billion programs run on Java. So guess what? That shit ain't going away. Since we have this in our parent class now, we can actually get rid of a majority of this stuff. I'm going to slam a majority of this into our protected section, And what protected means is we are able to call and use these functions in child classes, but we can't use them in classes outside of the hierarchy. If I didn't put protected here, they would be labeled as private by default, which does not allow child classes to call them. Virtual means that, actually I can show you right now because we're actually about to do it. Virtual allows me to take this function and give it a new meaning in child classes. So what I'm going to do is this right here. Or actually, hold on. Yeah, this class here, I'm actually going to do an override for it. I just got to think of where I want to put this. I'm going to create something here actually. I want to make a function that's called before all these like native functions were called. So as of right now, I'm just going to call this before native events. I'm going to put that right here. Now what we're going to do is in our child class, I'm going to grab this, bring it in here. And I'm going to put something at the end of here called override. What override allows us to do is we can say, hey, we don't want to use the parent version of this function, which the parent version is this. We want to give our own definition for it. The definition that we want to give is actually right here. We do need to pass in something to this though. I do need this. So now I can get rid of this right here because we're already calling that in our parent class. We can also get rid of this here. This one we do need to override. So I'm going to call it override here. I think I need to forward declare this. All forward declare does is you basically tell it, hey, we're going to use this class, and I'm going to let you know where we're getting this class from. Yeah, so the general rule of programming is try to make your functions only do one thing. Don't try to like slam a bunch of stuff into one place. Trying to see if there's anything else that we need to put here. So execute while active. Right now I'm actually kind of like doing like a cookie cutter thing where I had this pre-existing class and I'm just moving everything up the hierarchy. So this is going to be like a more general purpose class, and the one that we're moving stuff from is like a more specified version of it. Speaking of specified, this is actually very specified. We're going to do a little bit more shifting, actually. We don't want stack count in here. Are you calling Niagara systems so that gameplay queue Niagara? So what this is doing is it's actually, we're just creating a Niagara component or a Niagara system, and this is just spawning it in right here. What this guy is doing. But all this functionality is going to get moved down. This is kind of like the, I'm basically a janitor right now cleaning up a bunch of random functionality off of the parent class here and making sure that everything goes where it needs to go. Like this needs to have an override down here. Like that. Press Control M or Control MO. I'm gonna grab this here and bring it down too. Yeah, I feel like a janitor right now for sure. That is basically what this is. I can actually move this in here. I bought Unspoken and can't even play it because I get spooked. That was made with Unreal too. Oh, Unspoken. That sounds really familiar as well. Yeah, I mean, dude, the environments that you can make on Unreal, like I'm not an environmental artist at all, but like with Lumen, I could be Picasso if I wanted to. You're demystifying a lot of stuff for me. People like you need Rider for an IDE, but at least you're using just plain Visual Studio. Oh no, I'm a cheap piece of shit. Everyone tells me I need Rider, but the thing is, Visual Studio gives me an out for when my code doesn't work. I can just blame the compiler, because if I used Rider, then I have no excuse. But with Visual Studio or Studio, I could be like, oh no, my compiler is just a giant piece of shit. Like I thought I did that before, but like Visual Studio's problem, not you know, not mine. Hello, Confusion Wood. How are you doing on this lovely afternoon? Oh, we need our Niagara system in here. You know what the best part about today was? Turn the stream on. I talked for 10 minutes about what we're doing today, all the stuff I got done yesterday, yada yada. I was muted. I didn't realize it till about 10-12 minutes into the stream. Doing great. It's a great afternoon. How about me? A little tired, but you know what? A little bit of a sleep deprivation isn't going to stop me from doing what I need to do. There's code to be written, and I need to write it. Tired of yeah, the bugs are getting me. I ran into a couple this morning, but we squashed them. I don't think we are using this anymore. This bothers me. There we go. Bugs are part of programming. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I'm here to get rid of them all, or at least try. Okay, that wasn't too bad. This function is actually kind of useless now, so sayonara. Yep, day 193 in a row. Days that I'm not streaming, I'm still working on the project, but usually it's about, those are days when I do research on the upcoming week and what we want to do. Usually, looking into new topics that I'm slightly unfamiliar with to get a better idea on how to accomplish it. Thank you. A lot of hard work. all good. Okay, so now the whole point and the reason why we did all that is to fix our healing queue, or gameplay queue. We're gonna make a child class derived from this. We're gonna call this GC Druid Mending. Yeah, it is better than one. Yeah, true. You're not wrong. I was actually just talking about that earlier, where like playing games, I feel guilty if I do that for, you know, a couple hours during the day instead of programming. At least you've learned a lot. You're not wrong. I look back at past projects from time to time, and a lot of people don't realize like how much shit they've probably learned in just like attempting to do programming. Because I talk to like a lot of people that do it, and there's some things that they don't even know. But I guess like you learn this stuff so slowly over time that you don't realize how much knowledge you've actually accumulated over the duration of doing so. I like to play, but it feels bad to do it. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do play games, but not as much as I did before. And I mean, it's hard to fight the urge, like not play like Magic Arena or something like that. But I got other priorities. They know how to watch TV. I mean, sometimes I'll like have like a YouTube video or something in the background as I'm working. I guess it feels good to have like somebody like talking to you, or like some type of like social interaction, or like a close thing to it as you're working. One thing I really enjoy doing is more people have been like asking like questions in like the Discord, and questions are a double-edged sword for me, right? Because if they ask me something where I don't know the answer directly, it kind of makes me like go out of my way to like learn something new, so I can help somebody else, but I can also like grow my own knowledge and experience by doing it. So I actually really enjoy doing the Q&A stuff in the Discord for sure. I guess I just love problem solving in general, so it's just really fulfilling. Alright, so what we're going to override here, because we need to detect if the person we are using this gameplay queue on is a part of our team or not. Because we don't want to actually create this gameplay queue if they're not. We'd actually want to apply like a different type of effect to them. So maybe we even do something that like gatekeeps this queue from even going off then. Stop it from the source. guess I would stop like an RPC from happening. Which, I mean, that's always a good thing. But like, then that gets into... we would have to be gatekeeping like a lot of different spells. And we'd have to do a lot more checks. Preemptively. Just thinking about what this all could possibly affect right now. Right now, we are doing this. Let's see where this is also called. Oh, I think we're actually applying the scorch effect in blueprints. Yeah, we are. Okay. Yeah, I'll just do the check here for now then. So on active, we'll look at it. You want to check to see if the team ID of the target we're attacking is different than the team ID of the... excuse me. Different than the instigator. So I believe in parameters we can actually accomplish this. What does this give us? What we're going to do here is we're actually going to cast yeah, like this. Okay, and then we are going to check it here. So if they're on the same team, we're going to apply this effect. Basically what this is doing right now. Call this here, as in the target, or my target rather. Like so. And for testing purposes, we'll put a log here. Okay. Now, if they do not equal each other, I'd like to know what they do equal. Then we'll just put some pretty simple statements saying like, if one of these is null. I mean, the owner should definitely not be null, and if it is, that's a huge problem. Double check to see if that is null, and then we'll check and see if this one is. I just want to know about like any issues with this system before we get too far into it. That's the whole goal. We'll close down and compile. This is called a pyramid of if else statements, but we'll take it apart once we're done. Realistically, we only need like one of these. We just want to see if our target ACS is null. The owner, again, should never be. I think the only time that happens is if like they disconnect mid-combat after applying something. But even then, like, it gets flagged for destruction. So it would fail a dynamic cast like that. Druid mending. Now what we have to do is set the gameplay tag in here. Well, first, I think I have the... There we go, Niagara system made. And the gameplay queue tag. You would look for end. Let's double check our spells to see if we're actually applying this. Whoops, got moved over to data tables. So there's a couple ones that should apply mend. Tranquility is the one we can test. So let's make sure that that gameplay effect has that in here. Does not. We can do that right now. Alright, so gonna filter out all the random bullshit in here. We're gonna start this up and we are going to test out the gameplay queue. The goal here is to make sure that the enemy is not grabbing or not having this mend be applied to them. We only want this to be applied to ourselves. So we can see that we have the mend applied here. That. And if we do it here, walk in, taking damage. So, a couple things here. I think our Niagara system might be on an infinite loop. It has to be if it's lasting this long. See if the enemy gets it. Okay, so it's not detecting team IDs. What I'm seeing. Actually, it's either that, or we have a separate gameplay queue that I made before and didn't delete. Motherfucker. Oh, you of a bitch. Yeah, that was from the that was from a bit ago. Okay. You want controlled experiments. None of that bullshit. Okay. Did not apply there. Did anybody else see that do damage in the beginning? That was weird. Ooh. It failed to apply. Late load. I wonder why. we doing a check in here? We are not. We only want this to go through if our Niagara component isn't spawned in yet. The weird thing is we're actually not even getting to the on active stage. Let me try applying like scorch effects. See if they work. Yeah, so scorch is applying. Can't imagine it's something with our override calling this, or messing with it, I mean. Oh, gameplay cues. Okay, so I will say... or our ability system component is detecting teams. Oh, it's looking for our old gameplay cue. To apply that. Weird. So this is actually like a... I think the problem might be this is an instant effect. right? This isn't happening over like the course of like 10 seconds, even though it looks like it is. It's actually the actual spell itself is kind of like pulsating, so it's just applying an instant effect, which is probably why this is like throwing a an error, I would imagine. That kind of doesn't make sense because the last gameplay effect that we had Druid Mend linked to was working. Yeah, I didn't think it was that. Hold on 1 second. Alright, you bastard little bug. Where are you stemming from? Wait, do I have auto destroy on? Hold on. No, it cannot be damaged. Allow multiple while active events. We'll keep this baseline. Yeah. Okay, we're good. I might have to make a separate type of mending Niagara system that only does like a spawn burst instantaneous, and then one for a like infinite loop event. So I might have to make like a static gameplay queue instead of an actor for one of these. I think that's how this is gonna have to go down. Did I just see a damage indicator go on? If so, that's a big no-no. Are you not getting called, my friend? You are an override, correct? You fucker. Oh, god damn you. Visual Studio. Not me, it's Visual Studio. If only I had Ryder, it would have let me know that I was wrong. Gotta love that shit. You gotta love like the random bugs like this. It's something very small, right? But it's more than likely something I breeze over 1,000 times a day, and then I just don't notice it. And then when I finally do notice it, I just punch myself in the face. Like, not having override on my function, that's clearly an override. Get the fuck back down here. Not mean to put you up there. You too. Alright, you fucker. Where's my Niagara system? Null target called for event 2 on the gameplay queue notify actor. Null target. I don't know about that one, Chief. Oh shit, wait a minute. Fuck. On execute is when this needs to get called. Something dumb. It was something dumb. We do need an on active though, so I am just going to put this here, because this will be for duration based effects, and the way we can do this is just make a separate function for probably handling this part of it, I'd imagine. Actually, not really. Kind of like the same thing. To clean it up, I could just make a function that takes in these 3 parameters to do it. But, not too worried about it right now. Yeah, on execute is what gets called for instant effects, which that's an instant effect. I even said to myself that, it was something really dumb. And what did you know? As soon as I saw in the logs that it wasn't being called whatsoever, I knew there was some black magic going on. Give me my goddamn effect. There you are. Yeah, so you can see how it is continuously doing that, which you don't like. So I'm going to click on abilities, realize I clicked on the wrong thing, then go back into gameplay cues. And naming convention, see instant, I know. Go in this bad boy, delete this old one here. Set a spawn rate. Do spawn burst instantaneous. Spawning 50 a second here. So that means we'll... Okay, I've set it on spawn time. Don't mind me. Now, to make this effect even better, you can do layers. Probably bigger offset here, 0.25 maybe. Another way to do it is we have the second layer have a different color. So I think we are setting the color down here. Is that removing? Oh, we're scaling the color down like that. I want to go with a blue or a yellow. Blue's probably fine. Yeah. Take this off of infinite loop. Oh, wait, hold on. The hell are we CPU simulating these? It's a huge no-no. I like to have more time between my frames, thank you very much. Fixed bounds. Negative 100 is fine. Actually, we're kind of spawning in the middle of this. So probably negative 200. Look at our bounds. Yeah, that's more than a... Loop duration is 1 second. Yeah, that's totally fine. Okay. Nice. What we can do is we can grab this now. Go to our one that's continuous and add this one in here. Grab our spawn rates. Did we have it here? There we go. Go to our gameplay queue and now set the new one in. We have to make a new gameplay tag for this, don't I? Really don't want to. The way I have it organized right now is kind of like the naming convention I'd like to stick with. Because everything is in like a certain order and folder structure. That makes it easy for me to go in and change anything or like find anything. So like adding like gameplay queue tags that are like instant effects like that, or having like multiple different types of like mend. Damn it. All right, I'll just do it. Oh no, I'm gonna have to change up the naming convention of this again. Maybe instant should be on the end of the tag. Yeah. Gotta close down and compile for the new tag, and we'll get that put on. some of these aren't going to have these instant tags on them, but there will be cases where we need these like burst effects to actually be used. What I'll probably end up doing is, this is on an actor, right? So it's not like a one-off thing. I'll probably have like a timer get rid of the actor if an event hasn't been used in like an X amount of seconds. Go Phils go. Johnny, you're streaming like an hour, aren't you? So for instant, we want let's change this to the new format. Like so. And then we got to go into our data table and change some of these. Tranquility will use the instant version. Oh, I clicked on the GI, didn't I? I'm gonna go into the gameplay effects. I want to use the instant version of this. The abilities that will not use the instant version would be for this one. Yeah, duration. Okay, that already has mend. What is the other one? I believe this one too. Okay, already set. Surge also heals. This does not have a gameplay queue. This will take the instant one. And the auto attacks that we give also will have that as well. Data table defaults. I really want to move everything over to data tables, including like the actual spell parameters. But I don't know, we have everything set right now in a pretty good spot. But when we start making new classes, I'd much rather have everything be in like one location that we can change. Is it just me, or am I noticing that some of the stacks are happening twice? Keep this over here for a second here. I gotta see how many stacks of Scorch we're actually giving per attack. 1, 1. Oh, that's just the tag itself, I'm assuming. Steam. These are showing 4. I don't mind this. That's just Steam. Is that frame? Alright, we need to test out that mending thing for like burst and duration based abilities. We'll do that right now. There's the bug. So for execute, right? We actually don't care about this here. That's gatekeeping us from spawning this again. What we want to do is for an execute like this, we don't want to get rid of the system. We actually just want to reset it if it's being hit again. So we'll check if gameplay view Niagara comp valid. Ooh. And if so, we will just call reset. We need access to do that though. I believe this actually should just start it again. There we go. Ooh, okay, maybe not. There's a way that we can actually play this from the beginning again. I thought reset was the way to do that. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have auto destroy on? Yes. Okay. Yeah, that would do it. So once it finishes up the loop, it will just destroy the system. I mean, technically we can just keep spawning in the same system over and over if we really want to. Thing is though, it's just like a lot more effort to spawn something in rather than just reuse it. So I think having this be auto-destroyed should be disabled for this instance here. So I'm probably going to override this for the instant version of it and have it not be auto-destroyed. Or on the flip side, I can make a new property for it. Default to true. Wonder why it was giving me an error for a second. Close out recompile because we set a new U property. When this starts up, we'll go into our blueprint version of this, mark it false. But what we're gonna have to do then is have this actor be destroyed after a certain time of no calls happening. But what I'll probably do is check the profiling between this and using like a static one-off event for a gameplay queue, because the static one-off event, right, is a just like a regular unreliable multicast RPC. So I feel like having a spell that does like a pulsating effect will just flood the network with RPC calls like that. End up trying to avoid it. And mark it false. Do that. Okay, now we should be able to have this call multiple times. So I'll wait like 3 seconds here. Just like that. Yeah, but not to eat up resources and just stored forever on the character. It does have to get destroyed at some point. So I'll probably give like a 6-second window, maybe 5, before it gets chopped back up into memory that we can use. Yeah, looks good. Gotta love that error. Do I have on active actually doing anything? No. Which is why that didn't work. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. We can actually get rid of like a mountain of these guys here. The only one that will possibly be null is the target. We do not want to have this reset the system though. This one's just to spawn and work. Like that. Nice. But you can see a little problem here. This is the beautiful relationship between a client and a server at its finest. The client only knows about the emails that you actually send, not about the ones that you don't. Target's ability system component null pointer. Oh, that's because it's trying to apply the overlap event. But it's not the server. That's just a replicated version of it. I don't have to worry about that call. The other ones though, I'll dig into, see what's going on there. Be honest with you guys, pretty tired. I might call it here for the stream today. This week is like pretty busy outside of working on like programming and everything. Visual Studio has an update now available. I am not fucking doing that. I'll break my shit again. I will be streaming tomorrow though, 11:30 as per usual. Probably about maybe 2-3 hours, depending on how much sleep I get tonight. I'm working overtime. I won't be able to do much work come Thursday, Friday. So, get as much done as humanly possible in the time I do have. But yeah, that being said, I hope you have a great morning, evening, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. And till tomorrow. Peace.